Greetings, my fellow gamers. It is I, Wraith King, bringing you news from beyond the mirror, from the other world, and today we are talking about a brand new character that was recently added to 7 Nights on the Korean version. Now, this is a very interesting awakened character, I have to tell you right away. Her name is, she doesn't really have a name. Her name is Great Wizard of Orly. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly, and hopefully it was translated correctly. We're going to be taking a look at her passive later, but right away I want to look at her first skill because it's very interesting. Computer, what does this say?
Noble Meteor. Reuse time 85 sec deals 4 enemies with 80% magical damage twice. In addition, the penetration effect is applied.
You know what, for once you actually translated something decently. Thank you, computer.
Thank you. Wraith King.
You're welcome. Alright, let's take a look at her second skill. What does it say, computer?
Illusion of Light. Reuse time 50 sec gives the enemy all 70% magical damage twice. In addition, all turn buffs on the target will be reduced for 2 turns, and the Glow of Light skill will switch to a Roaring Wind skill.
Maybe you could teach me Korean, computer. Anyways, having 2 abilities in 1 skill is very interesting. Both of these skills must do something very particularly different, but it doesn't exactly say. I'm very, very itchy to know. I really want to know. I can't wait to see what it does. But anyways, let's take a look at her Awaken skill. I hear it's very
Light Singularity. Awakening intrinsic continuous effect when the awakening gauge is full. The critical hit chance and critical damage of all friendly allies are increased by 50%.
You know, you didn't need to say damage twice. I'm pretty sure we understood you when you said it the first time. Anyways, this is very unique. Having a passive Awaken skill. That means when increasing critical rate is very interesting. You can already see right now that I can't use it. It is not an active skill. And that's a little frustrating. I was hoping she would have an animation for her Awaken skill. But that's okay. Increasing critical damage is very interesting. And increasing hit chance, that is also dangerous. So, now here's her first ability. This is very interesting here. I really thought this was very pretty. Yeah, isn't that pretty? I really thought that was pretty cool. Now, her second ability, you'll be seeing that being used in Adventure. Unfortunately, it would not let me use the second form of that skill, unfortunately. But don't worry, you'll be seeing that used in the Adventure mode. I really wish this was an active skill or something. But honestly, having a passive Awaken skill means it's a constant thing. It means she has a constant effect on the field. So that's very interesting. So let's take a look at what her abilities actually do. And I really am wanting to see what her that second ability is. I really am wanting to see what that ability looks like. I heard it was really cool. I really can't wait. So I'm going to take Nox off my team here really quick. And we're going to jump right into Adventure and see what she can do. Alright, I'm just as anxious as you are. Let's see what her her third ability actually looks like. I'm really anxious to see what that looks like. But I want to see what this really does. I actually did a decent amount of damage. I mean, I don't think she has anything equipped on her, but she still did a decent amount of damage. So alright, we're about to see her next ability shortly. There it goes. It spawned right there. It switched. I gotta wait 36 seconds though. That sucks. But that's okay. It should appear any moment now. And her Awaken skill is active, as you can see. Kind of a funny thing I did here. I usually take a look at the passive unique before I test the character in Adventure. But this time it was kind of strange because I didn't get to see all of her animations. What I usually do is I take a look at all the animations and then I go to the passive unique. But I had to test her out first this time so I could see this animation right here. But since we've gotten a good look at it, I think it's a good time for us to take a look at her passive unique, shall we?
Light of Insight reduces the armor of your entire persistent enemy armor by 60%. In addition, you are given 6 damage overrides for yourself and a critical strike against all your attacks.
승려에게 무리한 부탁은 말아줘요.
So here are my thoughts on the new character. First of all, she's gorgeous. I love her. Not as much as Aline, of course, but she's still very pretty. I really like her. She's a great new addition to the game. And I hope Netmarble comes out with more characters like this because she's really cool. The increasing critical rate thing, I need that for my team because I do have Delins on there. And increasing critical rate and critical damage is a very, very good addition. I don't know if I'm going to be adding her to my team or not, though. She is really cool, but I would definitely recommend getting her, though, if you are using Delins right now. If you are using Delins. The only reason I can't use her is because I can't really fit her on my team. I might have to take Nox away, and I can't really afford that. If I want to put her on my team, I have to take Nox off, but I can't do that because I have a death build, and Nox is a huge part of it. But if you have Delins on your team and you're looking for another character to fit in with him, she is an excellent addition. She works great with Delins. And being a part of the Night Crow, that's something very, very interesting with the lore there. I don't know what's going on with her concerning the Night Crow, but if you know, just don't tell me because I kind of want it to be a surprise because I'm looking to enjoy the game a little better when it's released on the global version. I want to know more about the lore then because I kind of don't understand what's going on right now. And translating all of this is going to be a complete pain, so I'm probably not going to do that. The most I'm going to do is translate the skills for you, my fellow gamers. I know a lot of English players are playing this game. That's about, I'd say about 50 or 60% of the people who are playing this game right now are actually foreign to the Korean language, and a lot of them speak English and read it as well. So most of these videos I make are specifically to help them get a better understanding of the game and give them a better understanding on the game, like what characters to get, how to use them, what are their skills, what weapons should I give them. These are key things to know in the game, and a lot of things in this game are written down and you need to read them, especially characters. And when there's a new character that's released, a lot of people are trying to figure out, oh, how can I translate this? What can I do to translate this? What is this new character? And they're skimming around the internet and they can't find anything. And that Google page I usually go to translate the characters rarely updates at all. So it's good to have a video like this that's uploaded almost immediately right after the new character has been added, so I can give you a good translation on it. But anyways, thank you so much, developers, for making such an amazing game. I can see you're celebrating how long this game's actually been around by making Spike smile in the opening screen. That's not something you see every day. But that's not all they did. They rewarded us with a whole bunch of gold and a whole bunch of gems too. As you can see up there, I got a lot of gems. But they are always so rewarding. They're so kind, they're so sweet. Thank you so much, developers, for putting so much joy into our lives. We really do thank you. But anyways, that's all the time I got left for this video, my fellow gamers. Take it easy for me, alright? Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.